Look closely at this map. A tiny island, just 180 kilometers across a treacherous strait. Yet, this small landmass holds disproportionate weight on the scales of global power, economics, and democracy. It's a vibrant democracy of nearly 24 million people, with its own government, its own military, and an economy that powers the modern world. But despite all this, for much of the planet, this nation, officially, doesn't exist. It's the nation that can't be named, caught in a 75-year-old shadow war of recognition and sovereignty. This is Taiwan. How did an island once known as Formosa become the epicenter of a potential global catastrophe? What does its precarious existence tell us about international relations in the 21st century? And why, in a world grappling with myriad crises, does the fate of this single island truly matter to every single one of us? On the global stage, recognition is everything. It's the diplomatic handshake that says, "You are one of us." For Taiwan, that handshake is a constant, elusive dream. Officially known as the Republic of China, Taiwan operates as a fully independent state. It conducts its own foreign policy, albeit with a limited number of formal allies. It fields a modern military capable of defending its shores. It has its own freely elected government, distinct from Beijing's authoritarian rule. Yet, because of a diplomatic principle known as the One China policy, largely dictated by Beijing, most nations, including economic giants like the United States and almost all UN members, refrain from formal diplomatic recognition of Taiwan. Instead, they acknowledge or take note of Beijing's claim that Taiwan is an inseparable part of One China, while maintaining robust unofficial ties with the island. This complex diplomatic dance creates a constant state of limbo for Taiwan. It means exclusion from most international organizations like the United Nations and the World Health Organization, despite its democratic values and significant contributions. It means its athletes compete under a specially designated Chinese Taipei flag in the Olympics. It means a constant struggle for visibility and voice on the world stage. But this anomaly isn't merely a bureaucratic quirk. It's a foundational issue shaping geopolitics, trade, and the very concept of national sovereignty in the modern era. Taiwan's struggle for recognition is a microcosm of larger battles between democracy and authoritarianism, global interconnectedness and nationalistic ambition. To truly grasp Taiwan's dilemma, we must journey back to a tumultuous century of Chinese history. For centuries, Taiwan, or Formosa as it was known to Europeans, was a remote island, populated by indigenous tribes and later settled by Chinese migrants. It came under formal Qing dynasty rule in the late 17th century, but its ties to the mainland were often tenuous. The modern story of division begins in 1895. Following its defeat in the First Sino-Japanese War, the Qing dynasty ceded Taiwan to Japan. For 50 years, Taiwan was a Japanese colony, developing its infrastructure and economy under imperial rule, creating a distinct societal evolution from the mainland. When Japan surrendered at the end of World War II in 1945, Taiwan was returned to Chinese administration. However, China itself was in the throes of a brutal civil war. On one side, Chiang Kai-shek's nationalist Kuomintang (KMT) government, exhausted from fighting Japan. On the other, Mao Zedong's Communist Party, rapidly gaining ground with popular support. By late 1949, the communist victory on the mainland was undeniable. Chiang Kai-shek, his government, and an estimated 2 million soldiers, intellectuals, and civilians fled across the Taiwan Strait, seeking refuge on the island of Taiwan. Here, they re-established the Republic of China, maintaining their claim as the legitimate government of all of China. Beijing, in turn, established the People's Republic of China, denouncing the KMT as renegades and vowing to liberate Taiwan. For decades, the world was forced to choose. During the Cold War, driven by anti-communist sentiment, many Western nations, led by the United States, recognized the ROC in Taipei as the sole legitimate government of China. Taiwan, despite its small size, even held China's permanent seat on the UN Security Council. A geopolitical absurdity in hindsight. But geopolitical winds shift. As the US sought to counter the Soviet Union by normalizing relations with communist China, Taiwan's international position became increasingly untenable. In 1971, a seismic shift occurred. The UN General Assembly passed Resolution 2758, expelling the representatives of Chiang Kai-shek and recognizing the People's Republic of China as the only lawful representative of China to the United Nations. This was a devastating blow to Taipei. The resolution's wording is crucial. It resolved to restore all its rights to the People's Republic of China and recognize the PRC's representatives as the only lawful representatives of China to the United Nations. Crucially, it did not explicitly state that Taiwan was part of the PRC, nor did it define China. This ambiguity has been exploited by Beijing to assert its one China principle. The political stance that there is only one China and Taiwan is part of it. The international community largely moved from recognizing the ROC to the PRC, adopting various interpretations of the One China policy, a nuanced diplomatic framework where countries acknowledge Beijing's position on Taiwan but often maintain robust unofficial relations with the island. For Taiwan, this was the beginning of its diplomatic isolation, a period defined by the paradoxical state of being a de facto independent nation, yet unrecognized by most of the world. It was a strategic ambiguity that would shape its future. Despite its international ostracization, Taiwan embarked on an extraordinary journey, transforming itself from a war-torn refuge into one of Asia's most dynamic economies. This was no accident. The KMT government, initially authoritarian, implemented crucial land reforms and pursued export-oriented industrialization, laying the groundwork for what would become known as the Taiwan Miracle. This miracle reached its zenith in the realm of technology. Taiwan aggressively invested in research and development, fostering a world-class semiconductor industry. Today, one company, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, stands as an undisputed titan. It's not just a company. It's the bedrock of the global digital economy. TSMC is the world's largest dedicated independent semiconductor foundry. It manufactures chips for tech giants like Apple, Nvidia, Qualcomm, and countless others. From the smartphone in your pocket to the advanced AI systems driving future technologies, the vast majority of these sophisticated components are designed elsewhere but fabricated in Taiwan. Specifically, Taiwan produces over 60% of the world's semiconductors, and a staggering 90% of the most advanced, cutting-edge chips. This isn't just about consumer electronics. These chips are vital for critical infrastructure, telecommunications, healthcare, and perhaps most crucially, advanced military technology. Without Taiwan's foundries, the global tech supply chain would collapse, with repercussions far beyond anything we've ever witnessed. Taiwan's position in the global semiconductor supply chain is not merely significant. It's irreplaceable in the short to medium term. Any disruption there would trigger a technological and economic crisis on a scale that would dwarf the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic or even a major war in other regions. Dr. Emily Chun, geoeconomics analyst. Yet, Taiwan's transformation wasn't solely economic. Alongside its economic ascent, the island underwent a remarkable democratic transition. After decades of martial law under the KMT, a period known as the White Terror, due to political suppression, a vibrant civil society began to emerge. Demands for greater freedom and political participation grew, leading to significant reforms in the late 1980s. In 1987, martial law was lifted. In 1991, the temporary provisions effective during the period of communist rebellion, which had suspended parts of the constitution and allowed for authoritarian rule, were abolished. This paved the way for multi-party elections, culminating in the first direct presidential election in 1996. The people of Taiwan finally had the power to choose their own leaders. Today, Taiwan is a beacon of democracy in Asia, a multi-party system with free and fair elections, a robust civil society, freedom of speech, and a vibrant media. It stands as a living refutation of the argument that Chinese culture is incompatible with democracy. This democratic success, however, is precisely what makes it an ideological challenge to authoritarian Beijing. My parents lived under martial law. They never had a say. For us, democracy is not just a political system. It's our identity. It's what we cherish, and it's what truly sets us apart from the mainland. Lin Wei, 35, software engineer, Taipei. Taiwan's strategic significance is immense, far outweighing its physical size. Geopolitically, it occupies a critical choke point within what military strategists call the first island chain, a series of archipelagos that extend from Japan through the Ryukyu Islands, Taiwan, the Philippines, and Borneo. This chain is crucial for naval power projection and control of maritime trade routes in the Western Pacific. For Beijing, controlling Taiwan means breaking out of this first island chain containment, granting the People's Liberation Army Navy plan unfettered access to the vast Pacific Ocean, and crucially, enhancing its ability to project power globally. It's a strategic ambition that goes beyond mere territorial claim. It's about regional and potentially global hegemony. For the United States and its allies Japan, South Korea, Australia, the Philippines, Taiwan is a linchpin of their Indo-Pacific security strategy. Its democratic success is seen as a vital ideological ally, and its strategic location is critical to maintaining a free and open Indo-Pacific. A Chinese takeover of Taiwan would fundamentally alter the balance of power in the region, threatening U.S. alliances and potentially emboldening Beijing's ambitions elsewhere. The U.S. officially maintains strategic ambiguity regarding Taiwan's defense. This policy is designed to be a dual deterrent, to discourage Beijing from invading by not ruling out intervention, and to discourage Taipei from declaring formal independence by not guaranteeing defense if it provokes Beijing. It's a high-stakes gamble, fraught with risk, but one that has largely maintained a fragile peace for decades. However, the economic stakes are perhaps even higher and more immediate. Taiwan's dominance in advanced semiconductors means that a conflict in the Taiwan Strait would trigger an unprecedented global economic crisis. If TSMC's fabs were to cease operations, intentionally or through damage, the ripple effects would be devastating. Factories around the world grinding to a halt because they can't get essential chips for cars, smartphones, medical equipment, or even defense systems. Supply chains would rupture. Inflation would skyrocket. Global GDP would plummet. The very fabric of the modern, interconnected economy would unravel. It wouldn't just be a regional crisis. It would be a global depression. The economic fallout from a Taiwan conflict would make the 2008 financial crisis look like a minor blip. We're talking about trillions of dollars in losses, mass unemployment, and a fundamental restructuring of how the world produces and consumes goods. It's the ultimate black swan event that everyone hopes will never happen. Dr. Marcus Thorne, professor of international economics. Beyond chips, Taiwan's democratic model itself is a crucial element. Its flourishing multi-party system, with free elections and civil liberties, serves as a powerful counterpoint to Beijing's authoritarian rule. Its very existence challenges the narrative that centralized, one-party governance is the only viable path for societies with Chinese cultural roots. This ideological clash adds another layer of tension to an already volatile situation. The world is increasingly aware of these stakes. From Washington to Tokyo, Brussels to Canberra, the Taiwan question is no longer a distant diplomatic abstraction. It is a tangible, urgent concern that frequently dominates international summits and policy discussions, a testament to its profound global implications. The threat facing Taiwan is real and palpable. China's People's Liberation Army, PLA, has undergone an unprecedented modernization and expansion. It now boasts the world's largest navy by number of ships, a formidable air force, and an increasingly sophisticated missile arsenal capable of striking targets across the region. Beijing's stated goal of reunification includes the option of force, and its military exercises frequently simulate an invasion of Taiwan. These exercises aren't just saber-rattling. They are designed to test operational readiness, intimidate Taiwan, and send a clear message to the international community. Taiwan is China's internal affair. The PLA's capabilities for amphibious assault, air superiority, and cyber warfare have grown dramatically, raising concerns about potential fait accompli scenarios, a rapid takeover before the international community can respond effectively. However, Taiwan is not defenseless, nor is it sitting idly by. Faced with a numerically superior adversary, Taiwan has adopted a porcupine strategy, a defense doctrine focused on making an invasion so costly and difficult that Beijing would deem it prohibitive. This involves acquiring highly mobile, precision-guided weaponry, such as anti-ship missiles, anti-aircraft systems, and drones, designed to inflict maximum damage on an invading force. Taiwan has also been extending its mandatory military service for conscripts, investing in domestic arms production, and strengthening its reservist training programs to ensure a robust civilian defense capability. The goal is to create a multi-layered defense, from air and sea to the beaches and urban areas, making any invasion a bloody and protracted nightmare for the aggressor. We know the numbers are against us, but we are defending our home, our families, our freedom. That gives us a strength no invading force can match. We train every day for this. Sergeant Chun, Taiwanese Army. Beyond conventional military threats, Taiwan is also a target of relentless, gray-zoned tactics, coercive actions that fall below the threshold of open warfare but are designed to exhaust, intimidate, and undermine the island's resolve. These include frequent incursions by Chinese aircraft and naval vessels into Taiwan's air defense identification zone, harassment of fishing boats, and systematic cyber attacks targeting government infrastructure, critical industries, and media. Disinformation campaigns are another crucial weapon in Beijing's arsenal. State-backed media and online trolls flood Taiwanese social media with propaganda, false narratives, and divisive content, aiming to sow discord, erode trust in the democratic government, and demoralize the population. It's a battle for the narrative, for the hearts and minds of the Taiwanese people, as much as it is a military contest. The gray zone tactics are insidious because they are deniable and incremental. They chip away at Taiwan's sovereignty and resilience without crossing the threshold that would provoke a direct military response. It's a slow strangulation designed to achieve reunification without a shot being fired, if possible. Dr. Julian Foster, Security Studies professor. Yet, through all this pressure, the resilience of the Taiwanese people shines through. They continue to vote, to innovate, to build their vibrant society, and to assert their identity with quiet defiance. They are acutely aware of the dangers, but their determination to preserve their way of life is a powerful, intangible defense. The future of Taiwan remains one of the most unpredictable and potentially catastrophic flashpoints in international relations. The delicate dance of strategic ambiguity grows increasingly precarious as China's capabilities grow and its rhetoric intensifies. The question isn't if tensions will rise, but how the world will react when they do. Will Beijing's patience wear thin, leading to a direct military confrontation? A full-scale invasion would be an immense undertaking, potentially triggering a regional or even global conflict involving major powers, with unthinkable human and economic costs. Could China attempt a quarantine or blockade, stifling Taiwan's economy and coercing surrender? Or will the international community find new ways to bolster Taiwan's resilience and deter aggression, perhaps through deeper economic integration, enhanced security cooperation, or greater diplomatic recognition? Taiwan, for its part, remains committed to maintaining the status quo, neither provoking Beijing with a formal declaration of independence nor acceding to its demands for reunification. Its leaders walk a fine line, seeking to strengthen its defenses and broaden its international space without crossing Beijing's red lines. The resolution of the Taiwan question is not just about China and Taiwan. It's about the future of global supply chains, the stability of the Indo-Pacific, the credibility of international law, and the fundamental struggle between authoritarianism and democracy. The world watches, holding its breath. Taiwan, a testament to resilience, a miracle of democracy, and an indispensable engine of the global economy. It is a nation that, despite being largely unnamed on the world's diplomatic roster, exerts an undeniable and profound influence on all our lives. Its story is a vital chapter in the ongoing narrative of the 21st century, a story of self-determination in the face of overwhelming odds, of economic ingenuity against political isolation, and of democratic ideals standing firm against authoritarian might. The fate of this small island will reverberate globally. Understanding Taiwan is not just an academic exercise. It is crucial to understanding the future of our interconnected world. What are your thoughts on Taiwan's unique status and its global importance? Share your insights in the comments below. If this deep dive opened your eyes, please like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more explorations into the crucial, often overlooked, stories that shape our world.